I welcome you for lecture number 24, optimization for maximum PowerPoint tracking. So in this lecture we'll see how this optimization, as the word optimization suggests you are going to pick best on the best. Optimization is itself, in general, if we think about what is optimization, we are going to pick the best point from the group of elements. Maybe we call it as, we have some 10 points, and this 10 point we need to find out which point has the maximum fitness value, or which point will give you more addition or value added this thing. Maybe for example, let me say in a box we have all types of coins. Maybe I say it as 1 rupee coin, 2 rupee coin, 5 rupee coin and 10 rupee coin. So we have scattered number of coins, but as a human, the interest is always towards this 10 rupee coin. So the route to always arrive at 10 rupee coin, selecting the best one from the pool, or selecting the best component from the pool of different objects, is what we call it as optimization. Either it may be minimization or maximization. Maximization in the sense, for example, the same example of coins, what I've told you earlier, maximization is 10, minimization is 1 rupee coin. So that is a simple difference between minimization and maximization problem for an optimization. So now let us discuss something that is really interesting with respect to maximum PowerPoint tracking. As I have already told you, I have left you the hint about in the last class topic, how this optimization is going to have a huge impact in this maximum PowerPoint tracking. Let us see it in the slides one by one. Yes, this is the very important slide, as in every class we are supposed to discuss before we go into maximum PowerPoint tracking. Yes, you know this has only one peak. I can draw a peak also here. In this case you have only one peak. So where in this peak, this is going to be your MPP point, where you can easily you can use instantaneous or incremental conductance algorithm, perturb and observe algorithm. With respect to change in resistance of load, you can track your MPP, because your instantaneous conductance or this thing, you will give you an absolute result. Of course your P&O has steady state oscillations, that is different case, but still it is very easy to track MPP point with respect to uniform characteristics in an IV or PV characteristics with single step or a single peak. It is very easy to track, so there is no problem in it, even though there is change in resistance, load or something like that. But you can change the duty cycle of the DC-DC converter and we can able to easily track. Now the question arises with partial shade case. This is what the assignment that I have given you last class. Let us take this particular case. So this is going to be the two particular peaks. Of course, when you are trying to declare your P&O with first operating point, as I have shown in the screen, this will easily go into this peak. But let me take the duty cycle which is near to my local maxima. It is always not guaranteed that you will operate at 1. There is also probabilities that you can start with 2 also. So in this case you will go and get trapped in your local peak. So it is always the responsibility of the design engineer, so that irrespective of your global and local maxima, you need to find out where your peak is, and you have to make your PV to operate. You have to declare an exact duty cycle that corresponds to global maxima. Now I will take one more case where here we have given only 2 peaks. Let us take the case of 3 peak case. Let me take the case of 3 peaks. So in this case, this is going to be your global maxima. In this case, these two are going to be your local peaks. So in this one, even if you start from this point also, even start with this point also, both the points it will get trapped to local minimum. This is the problems with respect to your incremental conductance and your P&O algorithm. Now, or hill climbing algorithm. Now let us see how to solve this with respect to your Optimization. Let me explain you clearly with respect to optimization. Yes, you know, these are all the effects. These effects we have discussed enough in the last classes. Number one, reduction in power output. Number two, yes, of course, partial shade will definitely introduce steps in IV characteristics and multiple peaks in PV characteristics. And depending to this, as I have told you in the previous example, your global maxima or global maximum power point is subjected to always shift, so it will always change with respect to the type of occurrence of shade. So this will always happen whenever there is a shade occurrence, whenever there is a change in irradiation. Now, what does this optimization do? That is the biggest deal that we have. Optimization is just an objective function. Here our objective function is to maximize power. Here our objective function is to maximize power. As I have told you the coin example, if our objective function is maximization objective function, then you have to always go with 10 rupee coin, or if it is 100 rupee coin, you have to go with always 100 rupee coin, depending to the requirement. Depending to the requirement of if the interest is going to be 0, then you have to go with 1 rupee coin. So if it is going always to be, you have to choose 1 rupee coin. If the objective is to take only 1 rupee coin, minimization, that is minimization problem. If the objective is to always go with 100 rupee coin, that is a maximization problem. That is what this optimization is all about. So you have to arrive a global solution. This global solution may be minimal or maximal. It depends on the process. But again, a very important thumb rule is it is an iterative procedure. Very important thumb rule. It is an iterative procedure. So we can able to classify based on its objective functions, multivariant objective. There are many variations and all those things were available. So these are optimizations have been majorly been used at many types of problems and many types of issues. So optimization is something that is really interesting, and also it is used for here for MPP tracking. Let me say how this optimization is used. Now looking at this particular particle swarm optimization, it's very interesting. Let us see. Let us see this particle swarm optimization is nothing but let me explain this yellow color as the particle. This is the particle. First let me explain the theory, then I will get into the maximum power point tracking. This yellow is going to be my particle. This black color dot is going to be the previous position. Black color, this black color is its previous position. Now it has moved to yellow. From black it has moved to yellow. Now this yellow is supposed to move to a position here, this particular position. This is first iteration. Now the current iteration is second iteration. It has moved here. The second iteration, the third iteration, it will move to this particular position. In this position, to arrive at this position, it has to take the reference of this particle. This particular yellow color particle has to take the reference of previous velocity, means the velocity from 1 to 2, or the velocity to be generated by this particular particle. This is the velocity Vi of k, and this position Vi of k plus 1, this velocity, these two net velocity, and it has to go to this particular position. So okay, what is this particle swarm optimization? Let me explain you very clearly. In a sample space, let me take this as my region. I have drawn a region. This is what I call, this particular inner round is going to be my optimal region. This is where this star is going to be my solution. This star is going to be my solution. Now I need to this is the search space. This entire this thing is my search space. Now what I will do is I am going to declare 1 particle, 2 particle, 3 particle, and 4 particle, and 5 particle. So I am going to declare 5 particles in the search space. All these particles are trying to move and catch this red color global region, vicinity of this global region. So initially I have declared around all the search space. This is the boundary limit. The outermost periphery is going to be boundary limit. So all these 5 particles is going to search for it. At the first iteration, what I will do is this one will move here, this one will move here, this one will move here, this one will move somewhere here, and this one will almost move here. So the best, I will take this as 1. I will take this one as 1. So first particle is alone, is now entered into this vicinity. So among all the search particles, in the next iteration, first particle has alone moved to the global vicinity, and the remaining are at some other different positions. Now, keeping this first particle as reference, this is the best fitness. This is the best position that we have arrived. Best optimal position corresponds to first particle. Keeping this first particle velocity as reference, the velocity is the drift from first position to global vicinity. So keeping this first particle velocity and position as a reference, now all the remaining 4 particles will try to move towards this particular global vicinity. At one part, this will keep on continuing, and the next iteration, another vicinity it will go and search. In the next iteration, the blue color this thing will be almost into the global region. Almost into the, all 5 particles will be almost into the, but it will take some iterations. It will take some 4 or 5 iterations to reach this particular central region, is what you call it as global region or global solution region. Until all 5 particle converges to global region, this particular search will be continued. So the position corresponding is what I call it as xi. Xi is the position of particle, x1, x2, x3, x4, x5, current position, and the next t plus 1 is next iteration. V is nothing but your velocity. V is nothing but your velocity, how much amount it is trying to move. So this is what it is called as, this x is nothing but position update, v is nothing but velocity update, how much it is moving. So this is a very good important algorithm where it is developed by James Kennedy and Russell Eberhard. They have made a very good study on this particular particle swarm optimization. So they have been always preferred to have the very high tracking speed within your 5 to 10 iterations. They will be able to catch the global vicinity range, global solutions. So let me explain how this is going to helpful in our maximum power point tracking. This is the algorithm, but anyway I will say you how it has been working. Let us take this particular case. Let me explain you this particular case with respect to a uniform case and a partial shade case. In a uniform case, let me take 3, in this one I am going to declare 4 duty cycles like this. 4 duty cycles I have declared like this. In this, among 4 duty cycles, this is going to be my best particle. So in this best particle, what I will do is, keeping this best particle as a reference, all the remaining 3 particles will try to move towards this particular region. All the remaining 3 may go to this particular region. This kind of optimization is what we call it as global optimization or particle swarm optimization. Let me take this now, let me go into this partial shade case. In this partial shade case, what we are trying to do, I am going to declare duty cycles at random duty cycle. You can declare any type of duty cycle. Now we can have a 5, let me say it as, here we have shown only 3, let me take 5 duty cycles. So in this, among 5 duty cycles, which is best, this is going to be my global best. In the diagram I am encircling. So keeping this as reference, all the remaining particles will try to converge towards this point. So at one point of time, what will happen, all the particles will try to move in this particular peak 2, P2. 3 peaks are there, P1, P2, P3. At one point of time, all the 5 particles tend to move to this particular region. This kind of, by using position update and velocity update, this kind of optimization process is what we call it as particle swarm optimization. The particles that are declared is trying to move to the global vicinity or a global solution range. This kind of optimization process in the search of maximum power point tracking is what we call it as particle swarm optimization. and the corresponding flow chart is given here. First we have to sense voltage and current of each particles. Voltage and current of each particles has to be searched, and the power value has to be calculated. Based on the power values, we have to update the what is the best among the which duty cycle has the maximum power value. According to that power value, you are going to update your velocity and position in the next cycle. Send this next duty cycles to, once again it continues, and where we will get somewhere where we will get the convergence characteristics, something like this, power convergence characteristics. I will draw the convergence characteristics so that you can understand. Let me take this as x-axis as time. I will draw the power characteristics. First instant the power may be 4 5 p1, this is p1, then this be particle 2, so like this 5 particles will be there. At the second iteration somewhere we can plot like this, some digit. After some point of time, what it will happen is it will reach to a maximum position. All particles will try to converge like this. This kind of convergence will be attained after 5 iteration. But again, for one iteration 5 particles will be there, p1, p2, p3, p4 and p5. This is going to be my power, and the convergence characteristics is how long it takes to reach maximum power. So this is how it is going to be. Though it is not in your syllabus, it's a very good research area, people are always working in it. So it is a very good topic for your MS or research level. If this particular topic is very much interesting for you people, you can code it in MATLAB, you can code it in Arduino, we can make some hardware components with DC-DC boost converter and all those things. This is very nice example for optimizing the best particles, or for optimizing the best this is one of the problem for non-linearity. Optimization is always preferred for non-linearity. I have just told particle swarm optimization. There are several number of methods it is available. We have fuzzy logic, we have artificial intelligence, neural networks, we have many new methods like bird mating or flower pollination algorithm. We have recently worked in flower pollination algorithm in 2018. So we have got better results compared to this particle swarm optimization. So the idea is to find a solution in a search space. In maximum power point tracking, the solution is going to be global maximum, or the search space is going to be the boundary limits of power. We are going to identify the power, global power, based on the particle power value. Based on the particles power value, you are going to generate your own velocity and your own positions, so that it goes to the global optimal position and it tries to catch the global peak. That is the problem, and that is the idea that we have here in case of maximum power point tracking. So this is what it is all about, swarm optimization and global maximum power point tracking. This particular particle swarm optimization is always considered as a solution for partial shade problem. Why this partial shade problem we treat as solution is, in partial shade problem we have the problems with multiple peaks. If we have multiple peaks, it becomes nightmare for all the researchers to track maxima, because I have already told you, incremental conductance and perturbance absorb is only capable of detecting peaks in case of only uniform irradiation. They utterly fail if the PV is producing multiple peaks. So in this case we have to be very careful. In this case we have to be very adjustable, and we have to be more optimistic in selecting the optimization algorithm. It may not be particle swarm optimization. We may also choose any of the algorithms what I have told you earlier. So this is the content that is to be keenly looked at. You have to be very careful. You have to be very optimistic in selecting the methods, and you can work on your research part as well. Solar PV provides you all facility to work in optimization. You can work in optimization, you can take research in optimization. So this is the answer for the last class. Maybe in next class let me explain you, till now we have discussed all algorithms. In next class I will try to explain you how your DC-DC converters is going to be, buck converter and boost converter, buck boost. First I will give you an overview about buck boost converter, buck converter and boost converter. And in the upcoming classes we will discuss something that is really interesting. about buck convert boost converter, will how it is going to work for your PV maximum power point tracking, how the input voltage changes, how the output voltage changes, all the changes we are going to explain in the next classes. Thank you very much students for your patience listening. We will see in the next class with the fundamentals of DCC DC boost converters and the comparative study. Thank you very much.